everybody, well it is cruise outfit time. We just got back from a cruise. I'm sporting my Portland, Maine shirt with my lobster on it. If I've never said this before, I am a sucker for a t-shirt when I travel. I love t-shirts anyway. You will catch me in t-shirts all the time. I'm kind of like dressed up or jeans and t-shirts, jeans, shorts, joggers, but I love a t-shirt. And this one's that real just nice weight. I'm super picky about them, but I loved the color of red and of course the navy. I almost always pick up a t-shirt when we are traveling. I don't need any more, but I'm a sucker for a good t-shirt. So we just got back from a Canada, New England cruise. So if the Portland tells you anything, that was our first time in that area. I actually did record a little bit on the ship, maybe the first night, but the lighting wasn't great. And you know, I'm always working with the lighting. Like last time, I'm just going to talk you through the outfits and what we did. I had done a poll a little while back, several months ago, on the community tab, which I think they call it posts now, of do you guys like to just see the outfits? Do you like hearing about the cruise? And majority of you said you definitely liked hearing about the cruise too. It wasn't just seeing the outfits or getting the inspiration. So that's what I'm doing. Our first time out of New York, which was beautiful. That will be a hard port to top. It had been, gosh, I want to say 20 years since my husband and I had been to New York. So that was interesting. So let me know too, speaking of, I think the last cruise I did, the updates, most of the time, you know, I talk as I'm filming in the room on the cruise. Let me know which you prefer or if it doesn't matter. Anyway, I was at the mercy of the light because we were on Enchanted Princess, which was a beautiful ship. I love that class of ship. Back on Princess again after a few years. But anyway, let's start back at the beginning. Left out of New York City. This was my travel outfit. So we had a very early flight, got to have a straight through flight. We knew we were going to get there around noon. And I was kind of stressing about what to wear, honestly, because you know, you always think you should look more fashionable in New York. Well, let me just tell you, everybody was very casual everywhere, even walking through Bergdorf's. People were casual because if you're walking several blocks, believe me, you need some tennis shoes, sneakers, comfortable walking shoes. We saw those everywhere. So don't be afraid to wear your comfy shoes in New York City, at least in the summertime anyway. So we went Labor Day weekend and then all that next week. So I decided on, I was gonna wear black linen pants. I have a few variations because we kept checking the weather. It was going to be warm. So I knew I didn't want to be too warm. Just a simple white tee. I brought two different white t-shirts with me, my favorites. I have one from J. Crew. I had one years ago, which I still have. They don't make it anymore, from Abercrombie. That was hands down one of the best t-shirts I've ever had, as being like a true cotton t-shirt. And then my newest one that I just picked up, if you followed me from the Nordstrom anniversary sale, I picked up one of theirs, Caslon, and that was the other one I brought, which you'll see, and I really like that. So just have on this white tee with some black linen pants, my Coach sneakers, which came in handy, and plus that then they were just neutral. I do have my laptop right here because I had already put all my photos on it. Then threw on a black sweater over my shoulders, just simple, lightweight. Again, I have two. I debated between the cashmere from Quince, but then when I started watching the weather, it was going to be a little warmer. So I went with a little bit lighter weight. J. Crew comes in lots of colors. That one's a good one. And then this bag. This bag was definitely the hero piece of the trip. If you'd watched my recent video with Quince, this is when I first tried this bag, showed it with like a travel capsule wardrobe. It comes in other colors. So if you don't like this color, which I'll talk about in a second, it comes in other colors. This is the smaller one. It is a great size. And it also comes with, every time I swear this gets me, look how smooth that zipper is. Anyway, I will link that video for you below if you missed it. Comes with a smaller strap. I wore it most of the time as a crossbody, you'll see, but I did wear it two other ways. This bag holds plenty. I mean, look how roomy it is. And what I love is it's leather, so it forms to you and it's squishy. It's lightweight. This bag was great for walking around the city. Used it again on our travels on the cruise. I do have to say, if you're worried about transfer, it did get a little bit on it. Wasn't thinking with my black pants. Not a ton with that. However, coming back, in LaGuardia. I don't know why they weren't using bins. So I had to stick this on the conveyor belt, and I just knew, I'm like, oh great, there goes my bag. And sure enough, it had a couple of black smudges on it. When I got home, I just took a baby wipe to it. I always use the unscented alcohol-free baby wipes. Took a baby wipe to it, come off just like that. So don't necessarily worry about getting anything on them. They clean up great. So loved this outfit for walking around New York City and for actually wearing on the airplane. It was great. We went to Central Park, took some photos there. It was a beautiful day. So many people in the park. We actually had lunch at Cerebus right there at Central Park. We stayed East 52nd Street, so between Park Avenue and Fifth Avenue. It was an Omni hotel. We ate dinner at a cute little Italian place just down the block from us. We could actually see it from our hotel. I can't remember the name, but I will put it right here. And anything I'm talking about will be linked in the description box below, and I'll pin it to the first comments so you can easily find all the outfits, all the information. So we were tired, of course, by then, so I just wore my white linen pants and the blue button down, took this bag as a clutch. It was that same outfit that I said is probably like my favorite from the Quince video. Put some black sandals on, loved it, looked great. So the next morning getting on the cruise, it was a Saturday to Saturday, get up, you know, I had ordered car service to pick us up, take us to the cruise port, because I knew, you know, with traffic and everything, I didn't want to mess with the taxi. So I decided to wear, I knew I was going to bring this, but I had no idea I was going to wear this on the first day. It was low 70s, I would say, most of the trip, but sun shining. So it was, you know, tad chilly. You don't want to be too chilly when you're out on the water. So I decided to wear this green print outfit. This was from an earlier video in the spring from Talbot's, if you recall. I hit the jackpot around that time with some items from Talbot's. I just loved everything from that video. I'll link that video too if you are looking for something, if it's still available. So I wore this and draped a little sweater, lightweight sweater over my shoulders just in case I needed to put it on or got cold. Sun was shining, beautiful, didn't need it. Just wore some cute little Amazon sandals. These sandals go in and out of Amazon, so I will definitely link them for you if I can. It was awesome from a cruise ship, just looking over, and there's the Statue of Liberty. We were at the Brooklyn Pier, by the way. Obviously, you'll have a different view if you're sailing out of actual Manhattan. We sailed out of Brooklyn. Beautiful, just the skyline, everything. That's why I said that will be a hard port to be sailing out of for just the views. I mean, just beautiful. And of course we had a nice sunny day, so that made it great too. And if I didn't mention, my mom and her friend joined us on this trip back in May when we were all together, and you know, we were talking about it again. She was like, well, we might like to join you. So they did. Her friend actually is in New York for the summer. So my mom flew up there, met, spent a few days, and then they came to the port. All right, that night for dinner, you know, the first night's usually a little bit casual, but I always like to dress it up a little, and I like to change clothes because we sat out on the deck for a while. We were helping my mom and her friend get the app on their phone and set that all up, and it started actually getting a little bit warm right before we left. So anyway, went to the bar that night. Usually we meet up at a certain lounge or bar before. So the first night I just brought this simple black tank because I knew I might wear this with something else. And then I brought the white skirt from Quince. I just love this skirt. And there are so many ways that you could carry this into early fall with cute like brown flats and a sweater, definitely a sweater draped over. But I definitely think this would carry you into fall. It's not something just for summer, but I really love the skirt. It's so comfortable. I put the shoulder strap on the Quince bag. I did have a sweater with me, that same sweater from the first day that I could drape over my shoulders if I needed, because sometimes it's a little chilly. Had my hair back because that first morning getting on the ship, I had time to wash it, but not really do anything else. And the guy was picking us up then a little bit earlier, so I just left it back. That was fine. And I knew with this outfit, my hair back would look good with it anyway. So just put on simple jewelry. If you haven't seen that video that I just talked about, a lot of jewelry that I always take with me and that works for any outfit with your traveling or not traveling. These are some key pieces I just have because they always will elevate a little bit. So wore just a long pendant necklace, my black sandals, very comfortable, casual, but felt very pulled together for the first night. Okay, so the next day was a day at sea, so I just wore some comfortable clothes. It's usually just a t-shirt. I think I had my Ralph Lauren cap on and those white pants from Talbot's, which sadly I think are sold out because I would totally buy another pair in another color. You guys loved those a couple months ago when I shared them with the yellow vest and then a striped shirt. So anyway, I had those on with just a t-shirt, walking around. I'm usually pretty casual on sea days. I don't do a lot of fuss because I'm going to take a shower later and get, you know, done up for dinner. So first day was a sea day. We were supposed to be in Newport, Rhode Island. When I booked the cruise, that was on the itinerary, and literally within 48 hours, I got a email saying that they had dropped it, which was very disappointing because that was one of the top 2 ports why we wanted to go on this cruise. And as many of you have maybe heard, if you've looked at these cruises, they're already dropping Bar Harbor in Maine, which that was probably my #1 port I wanted to go to, but I already knew it had been taken off a lot of itineraries. They're trying to lessen the amount of cruise passengers in there, which, you know, understandable. But so anyway, I was very disappointed that we weren't going to Newport, but you know, we were still going to have a good time. So we did have an extra day at sea. The first formal night. This was what was a weird thing on this trip. So, you know, usually it's the next night, not the first night, it's the second night, it's the first day at sea if there is one, and then it'll be later in the week. Well, this was weird. I even had to go ask customer service. I was like, now let me get this straight because I got to plan my outfits, you know? So I wore this blue dress, and I'll explain in a minute. So our first formal night, I wore this blue print dress. I found it in stock at one place. I didn't end up even sharing it when I first got it because I saw it was selling out. And I just came across it like, I think back in the summer, like a month or so ago when I was looking at dresses. I just loved the color immediately and was like, this is great. I did do like a little video try on of it. These colors of blue are some of my favorites. They look the best on me. However, I can tell you that just even 2 days into the cruise, I was already feeling the bloat and the dress was not fitting as good as when I tried it on a month before. That's the problem with me is I'm eating dessert and things that I don't usually eat at home and definitely not every day. So I really don't gain a lot of weight, like 2 or 3 pounds, just the bloat of the different extra stuff. And I probably had Diet Coke every day, which I don't always have. So anyway, love this dress, so pretty. I am wearing it in my true size 6 dress, but it was a hair snug in the middle, which I didn't love because I tried all kind of things under it. It ended up looking okay. It just didn't look as good as like me just zipping it up perfect when I tried it on at home. No bloat and all that. So that's why I also wore this on the first night because I thought there's no way I'm going to be able to zip this up come later in the cruise. And then I just have this older straw clutch from J. Crew. I'm not sure if they still have it, but I've seen other companies carry something similar. And when I tried this on at home with this, back, you know, like I said, in the summer, a couple months ago or whatever, a month ago, I just really like this with it. So I decided it went with both of my more dressy outfits, and I just decided to wear it. And then I just had on the simple Amazon drop earrings that I love. They just dress up any outfit, and a gold cuff. Really loved this dress. However, this was something kind of odd is that was formal night, and they called it formal night. It was on the normal night. Well, I don't know if it was like 2 days later, if even, they had dress your best. And you know, on some cruise lines like Celebrity or Royal, I think that's what they call formal night now, is dress your best. It's not called formal night. And then they said they weren't going to have another formal night because we were in port so late. And then you're not going to have it the night before. Our next sea day was the night before we were returning, and they never have it that night. So that was the only other dressy night. It just happened to coincide with the Captain's Circle reception. So that's when I decided to wear my other dressy outfit. So the next day was Boston. My husband and I, none of us had ever been to Boston. So what we typically do, and we knew looking around at excursions and so forth, was doing the hop on, hop off trolley. It was the Old Town trolley. You may be familiar with that. We've taken them in other cities. They're usually a good one. You can jump on different lines or just stay on, take you throughout the city. A lot of good stops, a lot of history throughout the city of Boston. This was actually on Labor Day. We were there, and surprisingly, the city was pretty busy. And, you know, so not a lot of pictures or anything from there, but it was beautiful. Had a good time. We were actually in Boston very late that day. I think a whole 12 hours or something. I don't think we left till 8 o'clock. So this was kind of the theme then throughout the week. The weather would be a little bit different, or it would end up being warmer, you know, just those few degrees difference. So it got more cloudy and chilly as the day went on. So this was my outfit for Boston. Again, I wish I would have switched it with my Maine outfit because Maine, it was much warmer. And so this outfit would have been perfect in Maine. But again, I kind of had things planned out based on the weather and you know how that goes. So I wore these cute pants. I had shared, I think in a reel on YouTube or on Instagram, I mean, maybe a shorts on YouTube. They are from Kohl's. This is actually, I think, in a petite. I had tried the regular and the petite, and the regular were a little long. I wanted them to kind of be cropped. Very flowy, soft linen cotton. Again, with just a white t-shirt and that white sweater thrown over my shoulders, and then this cute hat. I got this hat back earlier in the summer. It's from Kohl's as well. You've seen them everywhere, the straw bucket hats. And this one's very foldable. I knew it would pack easy, and I was not going to bring a lot of bigger hats with me that I often do on warm weather cruises. So I only brought my Ralph Lauren polo hat and this one. It was perfect. Felt so cute. Like I said, it would have been perfect the next day in Maine, but it worked for Boston too. So, because it was a little warmer, but got a little chillier that day. But anyway, cute outfit, loved it, felt pulled together. So that night for dinner, I brought out these pants, again from that Talbot's spring haul. Love these. I'd worn these to dinner one night with friends back earlier in the summer, and I just love them. They are like a linen blend. Again, you guys know if you watch my videos, I love a printed pant, and these are so, so pretty. Got compliments on them. They look great with a pop of yellow. I didn't end up keeping that yellow sweater from Talbot's because it was a little heavier than I wanted, but I ended up finding this one randomly in the summer when we were at the mall. I think it might have even been the Nordstrom sale. So we go in J. Crew. They have, you know, everything on sale because it was around 4th of July. I see this table on the men's section and the sweater's there, and it was marked down. And then when I got up to the counter, it was marked down again. So I got it for a steal. It's a real thin cotton sweater. Unfortunately, when I first went, because I was going to share it right away, when I went on the website, it didn't even show it on the website. Definitely not in this color. I'll see if they still carry it. So anyway, Talbot's does have that color yellow if you're looking, because it is more specific, because I have a real pale yellow sweatshirt that I was going to bring instead of this sweater, and this sweater definitely looked better, which I ended up wearing this with those white pants again, and some black pants just as that throw on pullover when it's a little chilly. This was the bag I ended up taking. I did not take the Lily bag. I know, surprise, surprise, but it just felt like it didn't really go with these outfits and this cruise. So I took this. This is another mango bag. It is smaller than the one I bought last year, which is the brown bucket bag, which I just absolutely loved. It is smaller. However, it still holds a decent amount. I used it for daytime, a day or two, and at night, and I like that you can remove the strap, so if you want to just carry it by the handle, you can. Wore some wedges. I have a high neck sleeveless tee, and then of course those great sunglasses, designer inspired from Amazon that I love, and I just love the whole outfit. Again, I've worn this before early in their summer out, and I just knew I had to take it again. You'll probably see this quite often, so if you like this outfit, this pants, again, if you didn't pick it up earlier, you can check it out now. And I like to rewear things. A lot of you guys know that. If I really like something, I'm gonna rewear it. All right, so the next day was Portland, Maine, and we decided to do like a little city tour and a lighthouse tour. Apparently this is the most photographed lighthouse in the US, so I was like, well, I've gotta go see it. It's beautiful. And what was cool is that evening when we were leaving, I got to see it from the ship's vantage point too and take other pictures. And we saw it up close. It's definitely worth seeing. It's very pretty, very picturesque. We took I think it was Portland Discovery Tours that we took the tour with. We had a great operator. It was like a little trolley tour, and then about an hour and a half, 2 hours long. It was great. So then we had time for shopping and lunch afterwards before getting back on. Well, I wore this all white outfit with my blue sweater. It has the red and white fish on it. You guys may remember from last year I wore it a couple of times. So again, this outfit I thought was going to be perfect in Maine. It's going to be perfect for the pictures, and it was too warm to put the sweater on. It was sunny, beautiful. The jeans are a lightweight. They're from J. Crew, I think, as well. I have several pair of white jeans, but that's the ones I brought. Of course, the Coach sneakers, white t-shirt again. I switched out the white t-shirt, so. And then the Quince bag again, but loved the outfit, was comfortable. I really could have worn shorts that day. If I would have thought about it, I brought some white linen shorts. I'm trying to plan the outfits, man, because just a few degrees and if the wind is blowing or not, but we had a great time in Portland. It was definitely, I think, all of our favorite stop. We wish we'd have had like 2 more hours there because there's just so much to see. Really cool place. So here is the green palm print dress. I had shared this, I think, in a reel or some kind of shorts video or something, talking about this. I did end up sizing down. I don't know if I ever put it in the notes or told some of you that I might need to size down. It does have elastic a little bit in the back and an exposed zipper. And because of the elastic, it felt a little big on me in the top, so I did size down to a 4. I'm usually a 4 or 6 in a dress, depending on the type of dress, how it's made. But if that helps you with your sizing, I did have to size down to my smaller size in a dress. It's a lot of dress, a lot of fabric. It does have pockets. But I just felt like so good in it. There was a couple of different green dresses over the summer that I liked because I've just been very into green. And I asked my husband, you know, which do you like? And I put both. And he was like, yeah, that one's more you. And I'm like, I know. And I feel comfortable in it. It's like, you know, when I said I love dresses since I was a little kid, it just has that like feel that you're in that fancy dress as a kid where you spin around. So it has like tiers, a little bit of ruffle. It does come in a blue, but I'm glad I got the green. I really like the green. Wore it with some fun earrings and just some clear heels, which you couldn't even see. It was the perfect length with some heels. Didn't have to take it up or anything. Trying to get a photograph of this dress. It was very windy that night. I'll put in a picture so you can see. Because the wind, some of the pictures are hilarious. So this one, my husband's like, no, your hair is like, you know, and until I looked at him, he's like, you look like Superman cape. Like my hair was straight out, the wind picking it up. The dress, you couldn't see anything in the dress. So we had to move. Again, that was at the Captain's Circle reception. We always had a good time. You know, they have nice drinks, little appetizers. The next day we were in St. John. It was different. It was definitely not what we were expecting. It was funny because it actually reminds you of the UK. And in some aspects, it reminds me of the UK like in the 1990s. Just the way still it seemed like people dressed. And I know some of that's coming back and all that, but I don't know, I kind of felt like I was in a little bit of a time warp. And the hills there, if you've ever been there, a lot of things are like straight up and down. My mom and her friend, we got them on like a little city tour that they went on because I knew there was no way they would want to walk up those hills, and it was a lot of walking for them. It was a lot of walking for us too, but you know, more so for them. So they went on a city tour. We walked all around, and it was chilly that we were fogged in when we first got there. Like you couldn't see anything. So I knew it was going to be a little chilly, and if it rained, I thought, you know what, let me bring a rain jacket in case it rains. So I brought this lightweight one. I actually wore this in Alaska, I think, many years ago. Wore the same sneakers that I brought to Scotland with me last year. I knew it could get wet, but they're comfortable. Some black joggers, my polo hat. I'm like all colored here because I wasn't sure I was going to wear the rain jacket. And I only brought the one jacket with me because I knew I just didn't want to fuss. I could have taken another one, but I thought, you know, don't overdo it. So that was that outfit. That's why it looks this way and the colors, but you know, it was colorful. It looked really pretty on the street with like all the flowers I kind of matched. So we just took pictures of all the churches and architecture and did lots of walking. So that night for dinner, I just went very simple with this blue dress. I actually just shared this not long ago on my Instagram. It is from a recent haul that I shared from Belk. and I just love the color again. This is a good color for me. I love the simplicity. I had worn it to like church and lunch, I think, that day last time I showed it. I can wear it with flat sandals because this happens to be a petite. It does come in non-petite, I believe, but that's just what I happened to grab in the store and it worked so well. It is a medium. I find in this brand, I have to size up because if not, it will be a little tight, maybe in the hips or certain areas because it is a rayon, so it's unforgiving. But very pretty color, easy to wear. Just wore that simple bag again and took the strap off of it this time and just used it as like a top handle. Simple, you know, hoop earrings, simple jewelry, and was good to go. I think I did end up maybe putting the white sweater over my shoulder for going to crooners and to dinner later. All right, this is where the outfit gets kind of crazy because it was sunny and warm. We didn't pull into Halifax until like noon. Weren't getting off till like, it was closer to 2 by the time we got there. But we were staying, you know, till like 7 or 8 that evening, and we knew we were going to walk along the waterfront there, which was beautiful. Maybe eat lunch, all that. So what I had on originally, I don't even know if I got a picture in it. Sometimes I tried to take a quick picture in the mirror. I had on the white linen shorts from Quince. I had on a white t-shirt, and then I had the blue linen button down open, kind of, you know, just rolled up the sleeves, open as like a jacket. I brought my Birkenstocks with me. Beautiful, sunny, felt warm. By the time we docked, and literally like an hour and a half later, and you got off, the wind had picked up a little bit and it was a little breezy. So then we were all rethinking, oh my gosh, are we gonna be cold? Because we knew we were walking along the waterfront. So my husband still just had on shorts and t-shirt and threw his quarter zip over. That's his just go-to with anything, you know, just throw that on, you still look fine. I put back on these blue print linen pants because they were just comfortable, but they weren't gonna be too warm if it did get warmer, because any of the other pants, I was like, I don't know, they may be a little warm. So I could just keep the t-shirt on and put the white sweater over it in case I needed something on my arms with it, the breeze picking up. And just this bag again is like a crossbody. Again, kind of last minute outfit change, but it worked. A lot of things I brought for the daytime, I knew I could mix and match. And I mean, it just got to be a joke because every day what we'd planned and looking at the weather, and of course, when you're out at sea pulling in port, it feels totally different down below when you're getting off a ship. So it may be cool here and not here and all that, and trying to, you know, you don't want to bring too many clothes to keep peeling off. But so I'm pretty sure I shared this dress in a Instagram reel along with a few other dresses. Really like it. It's a maxi shirt dress. Very pretty. It looks a lot prettier in person. I don't feel like it photographs or films real well because it is a real pretty, like, peachy gold color with green palm print. It has a belt. Again, cute little details around the collar. I wore this to brunch and church like probably a month ago with some friends. And it's just so pretty. I think I'd had my hair back that day or put it back that day. Just simple. It looks good too with the collar. And on the last sea day, it was actually fogged in most of the day. And I don't think I got a picture of my outfit. Like I said, I wore that yellow sweater, those white, they're a little bit, you know, thicker cotton cropped pant, and that was perfect for kind of pretty much just lounging around. We didn't even go outside until later that day because it was so fogged in and everything's wet. But I mean, so fogged in, he had to keep blowing the horn like every 120 seconds, I believe they said, for a while. And then it would look like it'd clear up and then it would get foggy again. I didn't think we would have that going back down like we did in St. John, but sure enough, we did, like half the day on our sea day coming back. So that night, last night for dinner, we really didn't know if we were going to go to the dining room, which, by the way, the food was great. The service was great. Great cruise all around. I mean, it reminded me of like old school while we started cruising with Princess and loved Princess. Like, this was top notch. We decided to go to, well, it's Gigi's at Alfredo's. I'm still used to calling it Alfredo's. So the pizza place. My mom loves pizza. We'd actually eaten there the first day. My husband and I, waiting for them to get on the ship, we had went, had lunch there. And so we decided to eat dinner. And then, you know, you could hear the music and all that happening in the piazza. So I knew the last night, no matter where we went, I was going to wear this outfit. This is what I said I wore to dinner that first night in New York. The white linen pants from Quince, black sandals, the blue button down. I just love this outfit. It's like effortlessly chic, you know, like you feel pulled together but not too sloppy, even though like the shirt's untucked and it's longer. But some of you that don't like tucking your shirt in and you like that, this would be perfect for you. You could also wear like a white tank under it and leave it open like a jacket if you want. I wore it like about buttoned 3 different buttons, I think, you know, and had it kind of open at the waist. Just loved it. Again, wore the purse as a clutch. It was perfection. So felt very comfortable, and it was perfect that night in New York at that restaurant too, because it's summertime, everybody's a little more casual, tiny bit chilly, you know, in the evening. So I didn't want to wear a dress or anything. So again, that outfit was perfect there too. So our next cruise is a New Year's Eve cruise again, just like last year, because we loved it as well. I do have a new dress for one of the formal nights, or even possibly New Year's for that one, that I have shared briefly. If again, you follow me on Instagram, I think I shared it in a reel there, but I've not worn it yet. I was going to wear it on this cruise and I thought, no, it's a little too dressy for this. If you guys have any questions, definitely leave me a comment and I will get back to you. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.